sir.
Recording started. We start whenever you want.
Okay. You all ready?
Yep.
Okay.
I still went out for him.
Okay, good evening, everyone. I'd like to stand and pledge allegiance to the flag. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You want to hit the camera?
6:30, 6:35.
That's okay, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, right now.
Hey, Adam,
Adam,
you want
we
to hit the camera?
We're just gonna get our camera turned on.
I don't want this thing going over. Let's try this again, huh?
I remember this was on the chief's desk.
Just squeezing the camera doesn't do it.
I'm pushing a bunch of buttons.
I think it's in the front.
Sweet talking.
Is it plugged in?
Yep.
Yeah, down here it is.
Is it going on?
Now you can see a green light.
That light isn't on right there, is it?
That never is.
Okay.
It's a sound system.
There's one thing unplugged, I don't know if that's gonna help.
There it is.
Okay.
Good job.
I know which button it is now, guys, so that's no problem.
Okay, roll call.
All right. Trustee Cellier?
Here.
Trustee Trevino?
Present?
Trustee Net?
Yeah.
Mayor?
Howie?
Howie?
Here.
And our attorney tonight is?
Dylan Lockyer. Berkeley McCarty.
Trustee Calvin is absent.
Okay, I'd like to open up public hearing regarding the structure at 15 Church Street that our building department has deemed to be inhabitable. I would like to ask the building clerk to give us a little background on that.
We did a few inspections, along with the property owner, some representatives from adult services from the county as well. And the conditions there are felt on all sides that they can't be remedied at this point, at least from the back structure. There are two structures on the property. So we're specifically speaking about the back one.
Okay. Okay, so the front structure possibly can be repaired, but the back structure was deemed by the building inspector?
Issues of its own, including that it's without water right now.
Okay.
But it's not as bad as
Okay. So we're here tonight to discuss the potential of deeming this property inhabitable. The one portion of it, the rear one. Any public input regarding this? Seeing no hands. Oh, I apologize.
I'm the owner.
Okay, I didn't see you.
And, they came over to do an inspection, but my boyfriend went in the hospital, and the Warwick, hospital counselor came over to see how my boyfriend was after he got home from the hospital the first time. The first time he had COVID, and now the second time he was gonna go back in because he had swollen feet and everything, and he passed away on the 21st.
I'm sorry to hear.
But I was sleeping at the hospital and I was over in Good Samaritan from Warwick. But I knew about what was going on with everybody, and I got all the letters and everything. But me and my mother were thinking about trying to fix the house because we're looking at stuff today, Rocket Mortgage and all this stuff that maybe can be done little by little. But I did have him pass away, and I was just thinking that could I request some more time because of that and other things, because when the hospital counselor came over, she was saying, "Hi Julian, how are you?" And he was just gonna go either that day or the next day to the hospital because of swollen feet, because he ended up having blood clots and other issues when he passed away 7 days later. But this is like a month ago, and me and my mother were always talking about fixing the house. I didn't have money, she was gonna help me. that's a short story, but when the lady came over from Warwick, and she came over to my house from Warwick Hospital, she was a hospital counselor lady, and she said, I'm gonna call the ambulance, and she brought everybody over, and they did the inspection. Instead of just getting the ambulance, everybody came over, and I didn't know it was gonna be an inspection at that moment on that day, you know what I'm saying? She came over, and then all of a sudden, all of them came over at the same time, when he's getting wheeled out in the ambulance, but I didn't know that was gonna happen at all. We were just calling an ambulance for Julian with the hospital lady that was visiting from Warwick, Rosemary.
I believe it was a setup appointment, because I know our building people have been there previously, hence Department of Social Services coming also. So it was definitely arranged, if you,
But I didn't know it was happening
Yeah.
that day when he was going in the
yeah.
ambulance. I didn't know that.
He went in the ambulance actually a little bit after the inspection, or maybe during it. But-
During it, because
yeah.
that was the 12th, and he
Yeah.
died on the 21st.
I apologize for, I
didn't know
my
it was
sympathy for
coming
that,
that
but,
day, I don't know.
but right now we're here discussing basically the rear structure,
Yeah.
and its habitability, which,
She brought everybody over there, I'm just saying, I didn't know that was gonna happen on that
Okay.
day.
unfortunately or unfortunately, not knowing really isn't part of the equation, other than I have empathy for you. The issue is the structure itself. I personally was in it with the building inspector, social
Oh, then
services.
maybe they came when I wasn't home.
There were people there. I don't remember you,
What
but
day was that? 'Cause
I
wasn't
believe you
there
were,
then.
I believe you were there. I mean, so really the issue is the habitability of the building, not so much, understanding your personal plight.
Yeah, she came
We don't want anyone to get hurt there.
Yeah.
And again, I was in it, I'm not a construction person, but I don't think that there's any construction person that could fix that. You have floors not attached to walls, walls not attached to ceilings, ceilings not attached to roofs.
So were you there that day when the?
I was there once, I'm not sure which day you're talking. Go ahead.
So that day was actually, she's from social services county, she's not actually from the hospital center.
Yeah,
So she called us because she was going there for an inspection, and she was bringing contractors that work for the county, that help assess whether something can be,
she was gonna try to help me.
I understand,
fixed,
right.
and if there was any help the county could provide to do that. So they called the building department and asked for a joint inspection. So we were all there that day for that. When that advocate from social services saw the condition of the gentleman that lived there, she decided to call an ambulance because he didn't look good. So that was kind of a count,
I guess it just happened in one day, I just couldn't
happened in one
understand
day.
it. you know?
Yeah.
The
No problem.
contractors that were there to assess it, agreed with the building inspector that they don't believe that that was savable, that the building was, the structure was savable. It wasn't just the building inspector, it was a joint decision.
Right.
Is there another date that they were there besides?
I,
It was the same day.
Oh,
I
okay, I
think
was
there
just
a lot-
wondering
there was a
how
lot
it
going-
happened,
there was a
you know,
lot
I
going
just
on.
didn't know.
Yeah, it was a lot going on.
I know, I didn't know what was going on, but anyway, I didn't know about that, I was just concerned about him, and we were thinking of doing things, getting ourselves together to do with possibly just keeping the house there. We don't know if we're gonna sell it, we don't know if we could take money out and fix it, or start to do little things. We just didn't know. I understand the whole story, but he just passed away.
I understand that.
I just need a little bit more time. I need time. I'm not, it's no excuse at all. Me and my
May I
mom-
just one question, did the inspectors came, did they leave any report or anything, sort of their assessment that we have?
Oh, I got a letter, but I got it late. When I was sleeping over at the hospital, I got it late because it went to the post office box and then back here. And I got it really late. I get my mail at my house, the street mailbox. But anyway, I got those letters late and I wasn't even around. I was with friends and sleeping over at the hospital. But anyway, besides that, I had some money to start doing something, and I know you said that I shouldn't be fixing the house up.
Well, it's the, and I know what you think, and I'm not telling you what to do, I'm just saying,
Yeah.
in my opinion,
Right.
it looked beyond
Yeah.
this, couldn't be repaired, and I wholeheartedly agreed with the building inspector's
Yeah.
assessment.
And, so, but I had like car problem, she fixed her plumbing, I'm well there with her now, she lives on my property, my mom rents a house from me. So,
Do you have water in the front property right now?
yes, we fixed the whole plumbing for 1900, Jones
Okay.
Plumbing did it.
Okay.
Yes, cause there was a leak in between these two times
Right.
that things happened. Yes, we straightened that out, we straightened a couple things out, but now I have to just, let's say, catch my breath, because I'm just trying here, I'm trying.
I understand.
I'm going to work, I'm staying with her, I'm trying, she doesn't know if she's gonna get a different spot, and I'm gonna move in there, or if the last thing we have to do is have the house knocked down, but I still need time for this. I'm just saying, because he just passed away a few weeks back,
Right.
and we did the funeral home thing, my car, and all these other things I rented. I don't even have any money left on unexpected things. Now, my mother can help me, she rents there, of course, and I'm with her, and we're trying, and we did the $1,900 plumbing, it was in the neighbor's yard.
Right,
So
I
we
understand that,
handled that with
but
the
that's for the front portion that you currently live in, which isn't in great shape, but it's not in
Right,
the same status as the rear
Right.
building.
so.
The
my
rear
mother-
building is our concern.
Yeah,
The safety hazard that is created over there is tremendous. If a child went into that place, I couldn't even, I was afraid to even, I didn't walk upstairs. That's how unsafe I felt it was. And that's why we're here tonight, so.
Right. And I understand everything, I
Yeah.
just don't, could I have a little bit more time to settle certain things? Can I have a little, we have to make a decision, and I know, me and my mother have to talk more, we were all shook up about him passing away and everything,
I understand that.
so.
But we'll determine that at the regular village board meeting. Dylan, what's your opinion on as far as granting? I mean, when you're asking for time, I mean, are you looking for 10 days? Because we're not going to let that place stay there in the condition it is. So, I mean, from your angle,
So after the public hearing, the board issues an order,
Right.
one way or the other.
okay.
Doesn't have to be right at the close of this.
No, the workshop, no, we can do that at the regular meeting.
Correct, right.
That's where any vote will be taken.
Right.
Okay. So, I mean, we hear you, and we'll, as the attorney said, we'll discuss it at the regular board meeting, and, which runs right after here, and make a determination.
And, so, I wouldn't be able to have more time, or we'll see.
Well, that decision's gonna be made later. This is a workshop to hear your issues,
Yeah,
hear anybody else's issues.
right,
We don't vote at a workshop.
mhm,
We're here to gather information,
mhm.
okay?
And the other thing is, I have to get his stuff out of there and put it in storage, or my mom's. I still have to get some of my stuff out of there. A lot of it's junk, obviously. But I do, some of it's at my mom's. I did that before he got sick. I did some
Okay.
important things, and I'm throwing a lot of stuff out every single minute I can, you know,
Okay,
to do with my own little stuff. And there's not a lot of stuff that's worth money in there, I'm just saying. It's all
Okay.
junk furniture and stuff.
okay. Thank you. Any other comments?
Can you just state your name for the record?
Oh, Lori Dessert,
Can you spell your last name for me?
DZERK.
Thank you.
And, yeah, that's how, I wrote some stuff down, but you've heard the basic stuff. And, you know, we're gonna try to do something, but was there a different date that they were over there? I'm just curious, when I wasn't home? No, it just was on that one day, right? Yeah, it was just when they called the ambulance.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay, anything further right now?
Well, they're gonna send me a letter or something?
Yeah, you'll be contacted, without a doubt, right away,
And,
with the decision.
I guess it'll just be the way it is, I'll be with her.
Well, yeah, I would definitely not sleep in that
Yeah.
back room. Please don't go in there.
Yeah,
Stay in the front. The front has issues, but nowhere near the issues that the back cabin has. Okay?
all right.
Anything else? Anybody else on the floor?
So I don't need anybody else to go there and give me an estimate, I know it sounds stupid, but nobody else is gonna say, they're all gonna say the same thing, like, you know,
I'm not in construction, but
yeah.
based
no, I
on
know.
my limited knowledge,
Yeah.
I would think so.
And there's no, like, somebody said, I hate to say this, but I'm gonna say it. Somebody said I should get a lawyer, but that's not gonna do anything because it's just gonna be the same story, right? I didn't get one because he passed away and I was knocked off my feet.
Right,
I'm only feeling a little better today,
I understand.
but I'm just saying that's the situation and I know it's bad. And I didn't get any legal advice because I just thought it would just be the same thing anyway, to tell you the truth,
Okay,
so.
thank you. Anybody else? Ed?
Ed Kroll, 659 Jersey Ave. Just a couple quick questions, Tom. So in this situation, you guys are having a board meeting to decide to condemn the home, or the home is condemned?
With recommendation from the building inspector
To condemn it.
to condemn it,
So you guys are making the decision to
Yes.
condemn it or not?
yes. Or to take it, to make an order to remove it, to take it down. It's already been condemned by the building inspector. We're either gonna uphold it or negate it.
So it's condemned, and you guys are making the decision whether to take action yourself and take it down?
To issue an order to remove it, yes.
Okay.
I mean, but the homeowner
For
would
them
have.
to remove it, or?
The homeowner always has the option. There'll be a timeline, to do it, and if it's not, if it goes that way, and if it's not done within that timeline, then we would have to do it, and then, you know.
So the village itself would take action, and are you gonna make that decision tonight? That if the homeowner doesn't take action,
No,
that the village would?
No, we're gonna make a determination tonight if the property has to be taken down. The homeowner will have the opportunity to make that happen within a specific amount of time. If in fact the order isn't adhered to, then the village would do it.
Would you
We don't want,
reconvene-
we're not in the demolition business. I don't wanna take a house down, but I'm not gonna, if the time constraints aren't met, then the village would have to take action because we're deeming it a danger to the community. If it passes the way it might pass.
Okay, so does that automatically happen, or do you have another public meeting where you decide?
No,
to take it down?
tonight's tonight.
That's it?
Yes.
So you're gonna make both decisions tonight?
No,
One, is it gonna be?
we're making one decision.
I get it.
Not
Let me
both,
finish.
one.
Let me finish, Tom.
No.
So you're gonna so you're gonna make that decision, but with that decision, you also, as a board, have the option of taking it down without any further public hearing.
That's correct.
Do you have any other buildings in the village that are condemned at this time?
Not to my knowledge.
So
Not that I'm aware of.
none of the Grecs or the apartments at
No.
the end of Court Street, none of them are condemned?
No.
Okay, so that's the only building in the village that's condemned?
It's the only building in the village that we were made aware of that we inspected for that level of action.
I'm asking of condemned.
Yeah,
It's the only one in the village that's
to my
condemned?
knowledge.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else on the floor? Any comment?
Oh, I just gotta ask something.
Sure.
When I went over, like, when he first went in the hospital the first time, then I came over and we were talking, and you were very good to me. But then, you said we'll be in touch with you, you know, to have the inspection or something like that. You gave me a couple more days, only he got sick and everything came crashing down. That could come crashing down since he passed away. But the thing is, you said you're gonna give me more time, and we'll be in touch with you. Did I miss a letter, or, you know, I know it's not you, but did I miss a letter, or she just came back and she came over there, and then everybody went over there and started taking pictures?
So then you came back and talked to me again, you gave me Rosemary's number,
Yes, I did.
right? So then Rosemary and I were in contact, and she said she'd let me know of next steps, and then she called me and told me that they had the appointment with the contractors to come over,
Right,
And
and I
asked us-
told her to
and
do
asked us
that, I told her,
jointly,
she was trying to help me.
and asked us jointly to come.
Yeah, see, that part I didn't know, now I know how it happened. I didn't even know, because it was on the 12th of last month, and then he went into the hospital. So anyway, I'm just saying, I just had to get it straight in my head, because I'm lucky I'm sitting here right now with all this stuff going on.
Okay.
But I'm trying to get better, and I'm trying to do my stuff, and I can always stay with my mother. She doesn't wanna move out, but she might have to move out to another spot while I stay there. We just have to do it. It's just, I have to get more stuff out of there, and do I pay for the demolition? Or does it go on my house taxes, somebody said?
Well, if you hired someone, you would have to pay whatever private arrangements.
See, that's how I don't
If
have that.
the village ended up doing it, then it would be tax levied,
So it'd go on my house taxes,
yes.
and it would be.
It would go on the county levy, Orange County. So ultimately, you'd be paid through taxes, yes.
So it would be on my, whatever the price of it is, would be, I know nothing about this, so excuse me, but I just wanna know, like, does that go on your house payment little by little as you pay your taxes? Cause mine's on my mortgage, my taxes are on my mortgage payment.
I'm not super familiar with how that would be
Oh,
prorated, to be honest with you.
oh, okay, I just looked it up one day and I saw that it could go on your house taxes and,
If
I
the
paid-
village took it down, that's how it would work.
oh, okay. Because the thing is, I don't have any money for that. I don't think my mother can help me in different ways, but I don't even think for that. Unless we take out a loan or something. I'll tell her I wrote this stuff down,
Okay.
you know?
Okay,
I understand everything, I just,
I know, I see that,
yeah. So,
okay. Thank you. Anything else? Anybody else?
Yeah.
Yes.
So when the village or someone else does take a structure down, should everything be removed? There is a plot on Jersey Avenue that's just
Right.
rubble from
Well, it has to be brought to our attention, first of all.
I was told
you know,
it's been there. It's been brought.
I mean, this was something that we were brought to for a situation. Now, Danielle will speak a little better.
It started with an emergency call for the gentleman that she's speaking of, where officers from the PD came. They're like mandatory reporters.
I know, that,
So
I'm
based on
not
the
questioning
conditions there,
that.
they had to, by law, report it to us.
I'm asking about conditions on another
Yeah, so-
property and what the
well-
policy is. What
But
do
to be
you
honest
do?
with you, we're not
They
here
take
on,
different paths for
this
different-
workshop is strictly for this.
they take
I mean,
different paths.
that's a good question, but, you know, we're here regarding 15 Church Street. Thank
and,
you.
so I would take all my stuff that I want out, which I am doing, and I'll probably get another junk company to come, and I will do that, I'm gonna do it, I'm trying to do the right thing, but what else do I have to get my friends and people, cause I can't pay everybody, it's people will bring more stuff out of my house, and like say the week they're gonna take it down or something. I'm still gonna be on the property paying the house and everything. I only have a few years left to pay it anyway on my mortgage, but I'm gonna be at my mom's, just like she is there, you know, she pays the house payment. She rents from me. But I'm just saying, I'll be there with her. Now, I take all my stuff out, of course my little stuff, or do I have to get other movers to move the other stuff out? I mean, I gotta have it like totally empty myself or something?
If you're gonna take it down, yeah, I mean, the burden's on the homeowner, you know, that's how that works.
I mean, like somebody has to take all the appliances out or whatever, I'm getting too. Yes,
I mean, the logistics of it can be dealt with. Right now is basically for the decision if,
okay,
you know, logistically, even though it sounds terrible, we're here to help you, but it's an unsafe thing. I don't wanna see, no one wants to see anybody hurt. And the place basically is a disaster waiting to happen, to be quite honest with you. You know, and it's right here on the street, there's a lot of kids.
yeah,
Logistically, we can work through that and help you, but let's see how everything goes the rest of the
all right.
evening.
Yeah, I'll tell my mom and, all right, I guess I don't have anything else, like,
Okay,
cause there's no way you can fix it even if you had $100,000.
right.
I mean, I'm just saying, is it? Cause you could do it all over again, but it's not gonna go, you'd be putting money into something that would not go right, right?
I mean,
I just want to question, is your plan to restore it? It doesn't sound like it can be, I'm just, like,
Well, we were thinking of that, but even myself, I didn't know how bad it was in the back, and I really didn't, because it's high up, and I don't know. Trees fell last time we had a million weeks of rain and last winter. If I didn't have any money for, we were just starting to do stuff with my mom when he got sick. We were just starting to fix stuff. She had her plumbing go in the middle of all this stuff, so there was a lot of things going on at once. If I had the money, I would definitely put another house there or something, but she might move and I might just stay in the little house. Pay off my regular payments. She's gonna give me money to keep my house. And she's gonna rent another one. We have a whole bunch of stuff to do. I don't have these funds at this time. Even if I borrow a little bit money, I can borrow money not to fix that house, but to have something, you know.
Right.
Cause I have a little money, but not a lot to do all these things.
Okay, thank you. Anybody have questions on the board? Right now? Just to clarify one thing before we close, Ed, 3 Court is condemned. That was my bad, but it's gonna be taken down hopefully within the next couple of weeks. They were in already. The new owners, it was just bought, and they're actively taking it down as soon as they get the permit out.
What was that? What was it?
3 Court,
Oh,
3 Court, not you.
right.
Has the village ever taken down? I don't remember.
Yeah, I
I don't
don't-
ever remember
I
the
don't know.
village ever taking down a structure.
So,
I don't know.
what about Campbell's property?
That's right,
Right.
they did, yeah.
So there were multiple
Where's
structures.
that?
Where the new fire department is.
Fire department.
It was on the fire department's land.
There were multiple structures that were dangerous to everybody.
So there is precedent. But anyway, if you have nothing else, and no one else has any questions, we're gonna close the public hearing.
Make a motion.
Yep. Okay, everybody good? I'd like to have a motion to close the public hearing.
I'll make the motion.
Chad? Truzino? All aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, aye. Okay, we're gonna segue right into the regular village board meeting. We've already done the pledge of allegiance. Yeah, I'm gonna forego the workshop. I can talk with the village board and explain everything as we go along. So being we're foregoing that, I'm gonna go, like to make some announcements. I appoint, Mayor, Trustee Matt Vett was appointed last month to fill, my unexpired term. Matt will be, a trustee until the March elections. Matt was serving on the Bi-State Lake Commission. He's been replaced by Jim Martin, who would have been here tonight, but he is at the Bi-State Lake Commission meeting. I would like to bring up, well, first of all, we're gonna do Chief Adam Iron with an announcement.
Good evening, all. If I could get Sergeant Jones and Detective Jason Dwyer to come on up here. Thank you. Trustee Truzini, you mind if I use that? You guys stand right here by the American flag.
Right here.
Pull this right over here, is that all right? So I'm kind of facing everybody. So part of the reason that we gather here tonight, for those of you that are unaware of who I am, I'm Chief Adam Irons here at the Greenwood Lake Police Department. Right here to my right is Sergeant Daniel Jones, and then we have Detective Jason Dwyer. We came here tonight to commend them on a water rescue that occurred back on May 2nd at Morahan Beach. A quick synopsis of events. We're down there scuba diving training, and there was a subject walking her canine out by the gazebo at Morahan Beach. Flock of geese come in, or they call it a gaggle, I believe, of geese come in, land in the water approximately 100 feet out from the gazebo, and the canine jumps in the water after the geese. Now, in May, the water temperature is approximately 52 degrees that day, so it's really cold. So the dog, on its way out to the geese, she feels the dog must become distressed. She hops in the water after the dog and starts to frantically swim towards the dog. Well, she definitely became distressed and started going in and out of the water frantically. So without hesitation, we had Sergeant Jones and Detective Dwyer both dive in the water and swim approximately 150 feet to 200 feet, grab a hold of her, save her, bring her to shore, and the dog. So We feel it's very important to recognize these types of events and their heroism and the courage and the discipline and just their overall level of just phenomenal police officers. So we're going to issue them a couple of awards tonight. They're each going to get a plaque. The way the plaque reads is Greenwood Lake Police Department Life Saving Award. It's presented to one to Sergeant Jones, one to Detective Dwyer, for outstanding police performance in the saving of a human life and the display of conspicuous initiative, capability, and attention to duty, thereby earning respect and admiration for themselves and for the department. And it's signed by myself and Mayor Howley. We want to thank them again. And they're also going to get a citation bar, which I feel it's important to get the people that mean the most to them up here to do it. So Danny's fiance, Erin, come on up. And Detective Dwyer's children, Kevin, Dylan, and Michaela, come on up here. And we're going to let you guys pin those citation bars. Lift this. Let me get out of your
Is Town Supervisor Dwyer in the building?
Yes, yes.
Why don't you come up and take a picture with your brother?
right on top, yeah?
Red or what?
Red is fine. Yeah, we'll fix that. Yeah? I had them do it because it's difficult.
It's harder than it seems.
Yeah. Why don't you guys stay up here, photo out. Sergeant Jones, well done, congratulations. Detective Dwyer, congratulations, well done. Let's get another round of applause for these guys.
Everyone look.
Thank you, everyone. Congratulations, guys. Well deserved and earned.
Thank you. Thank you, Chief Iron, and I'd like to congratulate these two fine officers. We have a great department in Greenwood Lake, and I personally couldn't be more proud of them. Very professional, they interact well with the community, and as you can see, I was down at the beach a couple hours later, got the story that day. They truly saved this woman's life, so thank you so much, guys and girls. I'd like to call up Representative Dennis Murphy from the Greenwood Lake Elks. The Greenwood Lake Elks, as we all know, is an integral part of our community involvement. The American Legion, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts. I'm a longtime member, so I'm a little jaded, but the Elks was able through, under Chip's hard work, able to get 2 grants for us this year that we're passing on to the village. One is a grant for $2,500. It's called a Beacon Grant. The grant is earmarked for our youth programs, specifically arts and craft supplies. And we also got another grant to help with monthly luncheon and entertainment for our senior citizens. So they brought in a couple of $1,000s to our coffers, but it's going right back to the community. So with that, I'll come up and thank the Elks. Chip, come on up. You can say a little something in the microphone, my dear.
No, that's all right. A little something. No, this is as you know, we do a lot of fundraising, and it's not just to pay our really exorbitant taxes, but it goes right back into the village. And since we're in Greenwood Lake, we actually cover Warwick, Chester, Monroe, but fortunately Greenwood Lake gets the benefit of it, so. $2,500
Thank
for the
you.
youth.
Thank you.
Thank you. Don't forget our corporate fence.
Okay, let's see, we're on Greenwood Lake, Coast Chief Adam Company. Okay, we have a bunch of Boy Scouts in the middle row there, so Troop 121 Boy Scout Shuli with an Eagle Scout project. You want to say a word or two? Come on up. We have a great Boy Scout troop in Greenwood Lake. They really do a great job on getting Eagle Scouts, so you're a long line of tradition from Greenwood Lake. So, go ahead, speak right up here.
By the
Right here.
microphone.
My name is Shu Lee. I'm here to propose a Eagle Scout project. It's just a service project for the town, for the community in general.
Mm-hmm.
And it was come to my attention that the picnic tables at the Moorhan Beach
Mm-hmm.
are looking pretty bad. So I was hoping to refurbish probably all 12 of them.
Oh, sure.
So,
Can I bring mine from home and you do that too?
I'll do that for you.
Well, you had a predecessor who did one, not a predecessor, but another Eagle project was done at the Elks Lodge about a year or two ago under the same ilk, and they did a fantastic job, and I'm sure you and your team
Oh yeah.
are going to be dedicated.
Right.
And if the village can give you any assistance, especially in moving them around, they're quite heavy. You know, you can come down here one day with our DPW crew and we'll put them where you like them, you know, so you can work on it without having to go all the way down to the lake. But I want to thank you for that, thinking of us, and looking forward to seeing the product.
Of course. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you all.
Okay, correspondence is in the hands of all the trustees. Oh, F is it? Oh, yeah, excuse me. Item F. I'd like to bring up Town Supervisor Dwyer, who has some information. I didn't get into it yet. Basically, it's in regarding to the town of Warwick and the 3 villages within the town of Warwick to joint venture with a company, a grant writing company. Now, the grant writing company, they find grants, they write grants, they chase grants, and the supervisor and the 3 mayors met a couple of weeks ago, and we felt it would be a good endeavor for all of us to get involved in. We can split the cost, and we all can reap the same benefit. So I'd like to have Jesse come on up if you want to elaborate, especially to the board and to the public, what kind of benefit you feel we'll get from this.
Thank you, Mayor.
How's it feel on that side of the room?
I kind of like it a little bit, especially when you have tough meetings, which you did. No, I'll be good. So, engineers and firms like this, they tend to send you 50-page packets, but generally there's only one page that matters. I don't have an extra for your copy, I'm sorry.
Yeah. I read it.
But essentially, in the spirit of shared services and pulling together resources, I thought it would be a good idea to join forces and pull together the same firm for the purpose of cost savings to the villages. We went out, you know, as you guys know, grants are hard to come by. They take a lot of work, a lot of research, a lot of time, and they're hard to find, right? They take a lot of research to really dig up what makes the most sense for your community, your town, your village. My 10 years as mayor, it was basically getting lucky and finding and pulling together what we could. We were successful, and since then you guys have been successful, but it's still not enough to meet the needs of our town and of our village, because the cost of business continues to go up and the needs of infrastructure improvements, road improvements, police services, all of these things continue to go up. And they're harder to fund, and the only way you can fund them is by taxing your residents. So we're trying to find creative ways to avoid having to do that. So when I found out that if the town of Warwick engaged with this company Millennium, it would cost us $46,000 a year. And if I were to get all of the 3 villages included, it would only go up to $48,000. To me, it was a no-brainer that we would want to offer the same service to the villages. The town of Warwick would cover the lion's share of the fee, and then the villages will kind of come up with what amount makes the most sense. What I proposed originally, just throwing a number out there, was the town would pay $20,000 per year, and each of the villages would pay $9,300 per year. I don't think that the town is going to use any more of their services than any of the villages. It really will come down to you guys, how much you use it. Essentially, what will happen if we move forward with this, each village and the town will have a unique scoping session with the company. They will look at what your needs are. You'll talk to them about what you think the community needs, what are some action items you're going to try to achieve over your next 5 to 10 year plan, and then they'll customize this portal that you will have unique access to. The town will have their own access. You'll have your own unique portal, and you can go into that every single day, and any new grant announcements will specifically be listed in that portal, and you can just browse through it, see which one makes sense, see if you meet the criteria that's indicated in that specific grant item, whether it's median household income or being a protected water body, which Greenwood Lake is. Those things will be listed there, and you can see what makes sense for Greenwood Lake. The benefit of this endeavor, working with this company, is that you just pay the one-time fee. You can have 20 grants written by them, and it doesn't cost you an extra dollar. Now, you sign the engineering bills when they fill out the paperwork on a grant. It's anywhere between $150 to $250 an hour for them to fill out the paperwork to get a grant for the water infrastructure, to get a grant for a road, a police car, the amount of work that you guys have with your current grant writing situation. It's a lot of work, it's a lot of time. So having a company that specializes specifically in grant writing, in my opinion, is key. Engineering firms, they're still gonna be needed, the technical review, the detailed items, but you're not gonna pay them to find the grants, write the grants, and fight for the grants. These guys, Millennium Strategies, that's the company. They're a statewide organization. They've got about 30 different grant writers on the staff, and they get millions of dollars for their municipalities. So if we make a small investment, I think it'll pay dividends for forever, as long as we keep it. So really kind of what we need to work through is, if you were interested, what would your likely cost share be? We could do it proportionate to the population, but then you're gonna have the other villages, like Village of Warwick, they might not want that because they have double the population for Greenwood Lake. I'm really open to the idea, because the way I look at it is, I was gonna pay $46,000 whether a village joins or not, because the service, in my opinion, is gonna be so valuable for us. But if you say you're gonna pay $10, then I don't think that's fair. All right, let me just put that out there. But if you see the sheet, it's the initial strategic plan and the scoping that they're gonna do. Research notifications on all the grants. You're gonna get a weekly update with any new announcements, but it'll also be in the portal that you can look into at any time. Complete grant writing, and again, there's no cap on the number of grants that they will write for you. And then monthly reporting on anything, any progress. The other thing that's good about a company like this is they have lobbyists. They have significant connections in Albany and the federal government to fight for us to get this grant money. It's a no-brainer. It was, not to say doable, at a smaller level, because we all need so much to pay for these projects. But I think it really makes sense to do this, because everything's just getting more expensive.
And this contract, if it comes to fruition, would be a January start?
So
Or would be,
the reason I'm looking to do this is because my budget starts in January. And I understand the village's budget doesn't start until June 1st. So, we can probably figure something out there, but I think, depending on how much it's gonna be, it could be $400 or $500 a month for the village, if you were to start January 1st, but that's a decision
Right.
you guys are gonna need to make. I could probably work something out where the town starts January 1st and you guys pick up June 1st when you have the appropriate allocation for this.
so we want to decide first if we want to be involved, and then we can work on the fine tuning of it later.
Yeah.
And it's, it's a 1 year commitment, so if you opt out, you opt out after 1 year. If you don't feel it's, it's not a 3 year
You're
contract.
not locked in.
Right, that's right.
And it says it in there, you
Right.
you can basically exit at any time.
Okay.
Yeah, and you pay by month, so if you,
Yeah.
you're not paying the entire amount up front.
Okay.
So you can pretty much get out anytime if you're not happy with it.
I met with Jesse and the 2 other mayors in the town, and he did a lot of research and due diligence on it. That's why I asked him specifically to come tonight, speak to the board, speak to the public, and engage our interest. So now the board knows, the public knows, and we'll talk about it. And thank you for the presentation.
Just 2 questions, if I may. The fee structure only works if all villages sign up, or would it have to be adjusted if, say, 2?
No, I think, if, let's say one village drops out, I'm not gonna double your fee. It is what it is. I'm not gonna, I don't think it's I don't think you should really pay more than $9,300. Even if that, it was just kind of a number to get us started.
Right, starting
But
point.
if 2 of the villages drop out, I'm not gonna have you pick up the other half with the town. It does seem very likely, I've already got essentially informal commitment from the other 2 villages that they're most likely gonna join forces on this. But and it's whatever, like I said, we would pay 46,000. To have the villages, it makes it 48,000. So we're moving forward with this, and I interviewed 3 other grant/engineering firms that specialize in grant writing, and this one far and above was the best.
And appreciate that. And one other question, I think you kind of answered to confirm. The annual fee is the total outlay. Like, if say they get grants of $1 million, they're not taking a % of that on the back end.
Correct.
Okay.
And there's no incentive, they're not gonna get the job, they're not an engineering firm, they're a grant writing firm. There's no %, there's no additional fee, and, they look to write as many grants as possible. Obviously, it builds their resume, it builds their support. They won't get new clients if they're not successful for the current clients they have. And there are several other Orange County municipalities, that use them, Town of Monroe, Town of Montgomery. The Town of Montgomery, where I got this idea from, the Town of Montgomery and the Village of Montgomery have a shared service agreement for the grant writing as well. And they've secured a bunch of grants over the last couple of years through this company.
Anybody else questions? Nothing, good? Thank you, sir.
All right, and then I'll be back next meeting with
Oh, right, next
something
meeting.
special.
Right, yeah.
See you, Jim.
Thank you. Okay, correspondence has been distributed to the trustees. We won't go through that. Visiting elected official, usually we have Floyd D'Angelo. Floyd is representing us at the Bi-State Lake Commission tonight, so we don't have any of that. Reports of boards and department heads. I see Brendan in the back, Parks. There he is.
Alright, so for the months of August and September, we did some weed harvesting and some maintenance. Emptied garbage, picked up litter, mowing of lawns. With the police department, we removed the beach equipment, the swim platform, and the ropes, put those away for the winter. Assembled crosswalk signs and placed those for the police department. Walking trail maintenance, we cleaned up, mowed it, got it ready for the Halloween trail. Painted the curbs by the crosswalk. Added clay to the baseball fields for fall ball, got those ready. Installed no parking signs on Waterstone. Flag maintenance along Windermere, and did some building maintenance at the police station, the courthouse, and the village hall. That's all I got.
Thank you. I want to thank you also. I might have did it last month, but I'm not sure. In July, Ed and Brendan, they set up the stage for the fireworks, and I just always assumed it was easy. It was a painstaking job what they have to do to make the fireworks display go so smooth, and everything they do is behind the scenes, so I want to thank them for that. Warwick DPW is not going to be here tonight, but they did come in this morning. This is kind of not a slow, but a little slow for them. They're always out picking up, we get our leaves and brush picked up on Thursdays. Pothole repair, they've helped water department open up some big holes, water leaks, and attempting to do some hydrant changes. So they're always available when Phil needs them for street openings, and I thank them for that. And we'll let the chief of police come up and talk one more time with his report.
I want to start by congratulating Trustee Veth
Thank you.
On your appointment, congratulations, sir. For the month of August 2024, the Greenwood Lake Police Department handled 1,285 blotter reports, effected 5 arrests, issued 167 traffic summonses, 2 parking summonses, and handled 2 motor vehicle accidents. We would like to thank the Greenwood Lake Volunteer Ambulance Corps for donating one of their older ambulances to us for our scuba diving and ice rescue team. So now we can have a rapid response vehicle with all of our belongings in it. I believe that they won a grant for a new ambulance, so once that came in, they had a surplus of one, and then they voted unanimously to turn that over to us. So we want to thank them. We're very grateful. Thank you to the police department. One more thing, going back to what we did here earlier with the commendations for Sergeant Jones and Detective Dwyer, we want to thank the board and the community for all the support over all these years. Greatness really does start at the top, and it works all the way down, and we have a very supportive community, and we are extremely thankful for it. We come in here every day, and we do our best to be proactive and really try to give you guys a level of service here in the village that no other municipality can see, and that is one of our goals. So we want to thank you guys for all the support, because if we didn't have that, it'd be very hard to get the job done the way we do. All right, and that's the end of my report. So thank you.
And it it also goes to show their unity and camaraderie. Now, you're all looking here, but all along that back wall was full of, a lot of them were probably off-duty police officers, came here on their own time.
Correct.
To help honor one of their own. So they're a close-knit group, and that's it. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you,
Chief.
Phil Andrew, a little water report. A lot going on with Phil. Always.
I don't have a lot to actually report tonight.
But you're always busy, though.
Well, if I was to report everything in detail, I'd be up here for a while. Other than finishing up meter readings and collecting 20 lead and copper samples, we worked through the final details of the village's emergency response, vulnerability assessment, and cybersecurity assessment reports. All 3 have been signed, submitted, and approved by the County Health Department. We've also been working with MAG and to be in compliance with the state's lead service line inventory to be submitted by the 16th of October. A defective flow meter had to be replaced at the treatment plant in order to maintain normal operations of our primary filter unit. And the department, as always, would like to thank the town DPW for their assistance with a number of water main and service line repairs. And I'm just gonna leave it at that tonight.
Thank you, Phil. Talk tomorrow. Okay. Trustee reports. Trustee Kelm is up first, but she could not be here tonight. She's a little under the weather. She did want me to pass on that she really hated missing Matt's first meeting, and she extends her congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
But she did talk with Kathleen. Kathleen's going to give Trustee Kelm's report.
Okay, senior news. The senior picnic was, as always, a great event and very well done. Thank you to Supervisor Dwyer and Superintendent Astorino and all the volunteers for all your hard work and dedication to this event every year. Senior Zumba and chair yoga class attendance is increasing. September 25th is a bus trip to Monticello Casino. September 26th, Elks Lunch for seniors on Friday. October 2nd, there will be a speaker from the Foster Grandparents Program and lunch. The New Brain Health Movement Group that meets every first Friday of the month has seen an upswing in attendance. October 11th, the Greenwood Lake Fire Department will provide lunch and talk about fire safety with the seniors. And a big thank you to Dylan Reedmuller, who's from Boy Scout Troop 121, for the awesome new organization and info station created for his Eagle Scout project and the Senior Center. Congratulations to Dylan on a job well done. And that's the end of her report.
Thank you. Trustee Selye.
Thank you, Mayor. I'll start with the Chamber. The Chamber will be holding their social media workshop in October, actually, 23rd at the American Legion. Doors will open at 5:30. There is a cover charge of $20, and they're doing pre-sales only, and I'll run from 5:30 to 9. The Chamber will also be working with the food pantry this year to assist them with providing turkeys for Thanksgiving meals for those in need. Also, as Chip mentioned on his way out, the Oktoberfest, which will be hosted at the Elks, will be on October 12th from 11 to 10, and then the 13th from 11 to 6. The Lions Club held a meet and greet last Wednesday, which I attended. Number of people there, opportunity to meet the board, as well as an opportunity to sort of increase their membership. So they have a new president, and they're being very much more active in sort of building back up their membership and sort of their activities. Mayor, I got I reached out to you a month ago about the crosswalk by the senior center. That's in place, so I had that individual who asked for that. They confirmed that it's there, and they thank you for taking swift action to sort of replace that sign, obviously for safety as they cross the street. So thank you for that. And finally, Sergeant Jones is not here. I wish he was, but he had an incident. Again, his exemplary service as an officer. I sent Adam a note. My daughter actually was involved in a motor vehicle accident, no injuries. Last Friday, Sergeant Jones flagged me down because he heard the name come over the radio, and he proceeded to give me real-time updates, made sure sort of that it was safe, and I couldn't get in touch with it at the time. So just want to thank him for that exemplary service. What I make note of it is because he didn't. Yes, I'm a trustee, but he referred to as a concerned father. So it's certainly an action that he would do for any citizen. So one, it was awareness. Two, taking action. Three, sort of putting my mind at ease during that. So I'll be putting a letter in submitting a letter just to sort of as acknowledging his service to me personally and also to the community. So thank you for that.
Thank you, sir. I will be sure to let him know.
Yeah. That ends my report.
Thank you. Trustee Trezino?
Good evening, Greenwood Lakers. We're going to start with the building department. The building department reports that there was one zoning board meeting in August. There was one application for a new or change of use and another for a site plan approval to work in the critical environmental area. Both were held over to appear at the September meeting. The building department collected fees totaling $13,129 in August, which included over $8,000 in building permits. Regarding public safety, I've reached out to the representatives of our emergency services regarding monthly activity. So we're going to start with the Greenwood Lake Ambulance Corps, who reported that for the month of August, they handled a total of 48 calls. No issues to report. I also want to take this opportunity to thank Diddy Schultz, who we lost yesterday. Diddy was a dedicated member of the Greenwood Lake Ambulance Corps for an unbelievable 64 years. He held numerous leadership positions during his era of service and was awarded Corpsman of the Year multiple times. I first knew Diddy as my friend Tanya's dad. Later, he was a loyal friend to my mother while she served on the Ambulance Corps. Then, when it was my turn to serve in the Corps, he was a patient and kind mentor. Last, when my oldest son joined the Corps, Diddy was still there, guiding the newbies with his intelligent and gentle manner. Greenwood Lake cannot thank you enough for your service, Mr. Schultz. You will be missed and never forgotten by your community. Our sincere condolences to Tanya, John, and Diddy's granddaughter, Brooke. No issues were reported by the Greenwood Lake Fire Department. And last, regarding public safety, for the public, I want to remind the village that hunting season is beginning. For our non-hunters out there, please be aware that if you are hiking or walking your dogs in or near hunting areas, please wear bright colors and ensure that your dogs are leashed to avoid accidents and to stay compliant with the law. For our hunters out there, follow the rules and the law as they are in place to keep everyone safe. For both hunters and non-hunters, please use common courtesy and share our forests responsibly as they belong to everyone. Everyone should also keep in mind that the annual uptick in traffic is looming due to apple pickers and autumn visitors. The Warwick Apple Fest and the last day of the Renaissance Fair are happening on the same day of October 6th, and we are right in the middle of both. Everyone should plan now to deal with a great deal of traffic that day especially. If you're a visitor or a resident with visitors coming that day, you should really consider alternate routes to avoid the likely 17A traffic. We ask that all drivers operate your vehicles in a courteous manner so that everyone can reach their destination safely. Thank you. End of report.
Thank you, trustee Trezino. Trustee Vet, he's so new, I haven't had a chance to do our reorganization of trustee responsibilities, so he gets off scot-free this month. But I would like to just thank him again for accepting the offer to join us, and congratulations and good luck, Matt.
Thank you, I'm honored. I'll do my best for the village.
Thank you. Dylan, attorney's report? Dylan's a pinch hitter tonight, so he doesn't have much to report. Clerk's report.
All the water bills have gone out. You have until October 24th to pay the water bill before you receive a late charge. Also, all second notices for taxes have gone out you have until October 31st to pay those until they're re-levied over to the county. We have set notary hours now. We have posted them, they're outside. Except for anything that has to do with the building department, we will do that on a daily basis. That's the end of my report.
Okay, thank you, clerk. Hold it. Okay, old business, lake treatment. I had the opportunity to go in front of the Orange County legislator on Tuesday this week to basically plead for more money. We had with us Floyd D'Angelo and Jim Martin on the commission, and also Dale Van. She has a very long last name, so she told me. Vanderman Wiegand. Okay, there you go. Dale is very, very astute and competent in the management of our lake. She lives in Jersey, but she is spot on. We went up there, we spoke. She did most of the talk, and I had to do a little backup role. But the feedback I got from County Legislator Cheney was positive, and now there's no guarantees. But we went up there. I explained how we do our maintenance program, what we do in the spring as far as harvesting weeds and herbicide treatments. So I feel confident. We're looking to get a grant, and everything's about chasing a grant to do our due diligence and put together all our numbers, all our needs in order. You need a grant to apply for the big grant. That's how it all works. So we were up there, and I think it went well. We're going to continue our normal spring. Earlier this year, we're looking to get by Mother's Day the lake treated with herbicides. We wait a couple of weeks, and then we'll start our aggressive mowing the lawn. I call it not hydroraking, weed harvesting in the North Lawn. Brendan, we were able to acquire a couple of weed harvesters jointly with West Milford, so we have possession of them. So we don't have to wait for a company to come in and do it. So we have them in our possession. Also, if you saw the paper from last week or 2 weeks ago, Senator Skoufis gave us a $100,000 grant for the purchase of a small weed harvester. Now, that'll give us three. We have a big one, a medium one, now we'll have a small one. But the small one is going to be able to give us the capabilities of navigating dock space, marinas. We don't have to, they're big machines. This one is going to be nice and small, and we're looking forward to figuring out how we're going to purchase that and get it on site for the spring. MS4, we're going to be hopefully passing a resolution a little later. MS4 has to do with stormwater management and drainage. We were mandated by the state to come up with a stormwater management plan. It's called Swamp Plan. Took many hours of work between engineers, attorneys, building people, mayors, and trustees. We were required to have this by the October 1st. It's completed. I'm going to sign off on it next week. It all revolves around keeping the lake clean. you know, it's, we have a beautiful lake. There's a lot of things, that could potentially go in it. We try to mitigate that. So this plan is gonna help us. And it's more, it's not only enforcement, it's education. There's a lot of things you don't know, phosphorus, from the weed killers we all use, that all potentially gets into the lake. So that's what this plan is all about, and it's gonna be available online and in Village Hall in a hard copy. Benjamin Steakhouse, quick update, they're ever so close, just a couple of dotting i's, crossing t's. They also purchased 15 Court Street, which I alluded to earlier. I'm sorry, 3 Court Street, I'm getting hand signals like 3 Court Street, which were some bungalows at the end right across from the Rainbow that were in pretty tired shape. They've been condemned, so they're coming down. So hopefully very soon we'll see a wrecking ball over there, and that whole area is gonna take a little bit more time, but I think the transformation is gonna be so positive. And we're looking forward to working with them. I spoke to his GC the other day, told them we're here to help, and we're gonna do the best we can to assist them whatever way we can. That's it under old business. New business, lead and copper. Phil alluded to it. This is another mandate from the state requiring us to determine every home in the village, every single home, if there's lead in their pipes that connect them from the main to the house, to the curb box. Phil, in 25 years of doing our water, has never encountered lead. So we're confident that we're in good shape. We have some village code that goes back to 1970 that mandates that you have to use copper. So this is an extensive report, as you can imagine. We've been scratching our heads, actually, for the last couple of months, trying to figure out the best way to do it with the budget that we have. So we have the plan in place. Our engineers are gonna send this in by the deadline to Department of Health by October 16th, but it's an ongoing process. It's we can't physically do every home in 3 weeks. So we're getting all the information to DOH, and it's gonna be an ongoing process. Ultimately, at some point in time, we're gonna have to give them everything that's needed, but we will have a little time. I'm confident we don't have a lead issue in Greenwood Lake, so we just gotta move on.
Do you want to talk about the mailing and the survey online?
I'm sorry? Oh, yes, thank you. Part of this whole process is we're gonna be reaching out to the community, the residents, the homeowners, the renters, to help us identify what you have in the house at least. We don't expect you to go to the main, we'll have to take care of that. So we're in the process of formulating a newsletter, a pamphlet, that's gonna ask certain things. If you can go down into your basement where the meter is, maybe take a picture, maybe do a scratch test. We haven't formulated the exact way we're gonna go about it, but you're gonna be receiving something. We would really love as much participation as we can. It's so intrusive what would have to happen if we don't ask the homeowners for this. We don't wanna knock on everyone's door like we did 25 years ago to put them orders in, so that can alleviate a lot of problems. We know we're not gonna get 100%, but be on the lookout for this in the next couple of coming weeks. And please don't throw it away. If you have any questions, you can call Village Hall. All that information will be in this little packet. It's very important. It's something we have to comply with, and that would assist us greatly. We're gonna speak on privilege of the floor in the next few minutes, but in the interim, I'll just bring it up. We have a request regarding the Homeowners Association in Greenwood Park to install a couple of stop signs. They sent the village a letter. I will let Mike speak on the privilege of floor to state his case in a few minutes. Lastly, on the new business, Comprehensive Plan Committee. The last time we made a resolution to accept a comprehensive plan was in 2010. There was one in the mid 2016, 2018, I'm not sure exactly, but it was never adopted. So it really means nothing, other than they did a lot of work and it never was adopted. I'm not quite sure why, but, so we have one adopted in 2010. This plan is a somewhat large committee of professionals, planners, building stuff, building people. But I'm also looking for anywhere from 4 to 6, let's just call it regular folk, who plan on being in Greenwood Lake. They care about Greenwood Lake. They want to help plan the future. This plan, like Jesse was talking about, filing for grants. Yeah, you can file for grants, but you want to be a little progressive and think down the road. What a comprehensive plan does is, it's like, where do we want to be in 15 years? Where do we want to be in 20 years? What's possible? So everything, it's not a wish list. You have to try to be objective and work within the budget that we all know that we can afford. So anyway, if anybody's out there listening, and I will put this up on the website, if anyone is interested in being on this plan, please send an email to myself or the clerk or both of us, expressing your interest, maybe a little bit of background information. And again, we'll have something posted on our website with maybe a little more clarification. I'm looking to put this together with the trustees a little sooner rather than later. So if you're interested, let us know. That's all on that. Events. Teen Center, scheduled Tuesday nights, located at the community center right next door, 51 Waterstone Road, between the hours of 4 and 6 for 2nd to 5th graders, 6 to 8 p.m. for 6th to 8th graders. Farmers Market, we still got another month plus. Saturday mornings, Saturday mornings until October 26th, located at Benwood Stanley Park, 9 to 1. ZBA meeting, tentative dates, October 8th and 22nd. ZBA meets at Village Hall, 18 Church Street, starting at 7:30. Third time tonight, Elks Oktoberfest, Saturday the 12th of October, and Sunday the 13th of October from 11 a.m. to 6. Jimmy Stir, the Polka King, will be on Sunday at 1 to 4. Halloween Festival, Saturday, October 19th, located throughout the village, various events going on from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m., whether it be trick-or-treating with the village businesses, right through the Terra Trail in the evening. So October the 19th, pencil in Halloween all day, if you have kids. Our holiday festival and Christmas tree lighting will again be on the Saturday of Thanksgiving weekend. That's Saturday, November 30th at Benwood Stanley Park, starting at, it starts at 6 o'clock? No, yeah, sorry. It starts at 12 noon. It goes to approximately 6, when it's just enough dark to light the tree. Okay, Mike, the moment you're waiting for. Privilege of the floor of any item.
Right, thanks.
If I could stand up and say your name and address if you could.
Mike Vesley, 6 Woodbine Avenue, Greenwood Park. Sent the letter, I'm gonna read the letter, and then explain some stuff to it. My name, okay, current resident, president of Greenwood Park Association. There's been an increase in complaints by full-time residents and family members about speeding and unsafe driving in the park. Safety of the residents and their children is a priority. There was an evaluation done by the neighbors and a couple of the board members, and we found that to install stop signs in certain locations. Okay, we have discussed the situation with village officials. We have talked to Tommy. We were grateful for their assistance. At present, we're requesting 3 stop signs to be installed in the locations indicated below. Future stop signs and speed signs will be discussed later. I want to extend my thanks to Mayor Tom Howley and the rest of the village board. Okay, the 3 stop signs, we're looking at Laurel and Myrtle after entering the park, Laurel and Myrtle after leaving the park, and Laurel and Woodbine entering the park as you're going down that area.
observing the traffic, walking the roadway, and it was recommended these were the locations with regular complaints. Now, I don't have all the trustees sign on here, and I don't believe it's necessary. Okay?
A resolution isn't necessary. I just wanted you to have documentation, and we'll discuss it.
A lot of the people that are on this list here live on these corners I'm talking about. Okay, every one of them do. I got extra copies of this if you wanna see it. They're the complainants, and they're the ones that see it every day. You were also down there, you just saw people coming out of different directions, and it's like a mess. We really do need, we're only here tonight for the stop signs. I said I'll leave it at that, but we do need a change in the speed signs and the, no right turn on Woodbine, stuff like that.
We'll get together, Mike, with the chief of police, and if we'll come over there, we'll do a survey and,
Tonight again, it was the same thing. We have a Airbnb there, and there's 4 or 5 cars there, and every one of them came around the wrong way.
okay. So I'm gonna get together with the chief and you, and we'll come down there and we'll do a drive around.
Thank you again, and Maddie, congratulations.
Thank you, Mike.
Anybody else on the privilege of the floor? Yes.
Jean Marin, 5 Brook Court. I just wanted to make the board and the police department aware that clearly it is canvassing and lawn sign time. Everybody's noticed that. And once again, I've had a sign stolen already this year. I had one last year. And I also noticed that certain ones are missing from public spaces where others remain. And sadly, it's one set of signs that remain. It's pretty consistent. And I'm just wondering if the board or the police department have started any kind of plan to discourage this and figure it out.
Well, that's already a crime, ma'am. So if you notice something like that, I would urge you to call the police department and let them know.
I came last year.
Yeah.
I've been sick.
No,
so
No. Like if you notice a sign missing tonight, you have to let the police department know that, because I don't know if they're paying attention or not paying attention, but if they're gonna notice the same sign you're noticing. So that is a violation of the law.
It is, and they
Right.
send my property down there too, actually, to the police to come in.
Yeah,
They're making sure people come down the speed, I think.
It's completely in the realm of the police department, not really the board.
But I'm sure the police department, if they see someone walking with a sign under their arm, at a time where it's not, they're gonna take some action. But I agree with you. It's, listen, party affiliation doesn't mean anything, especially at the village level. Everyone's property should be respected. The good news is, the village is gonna have, in the very near future, maybe not this election cycle, but we're gonna have many more cameras set up. And we don't want it to be like Big Brother's watching, but for things like this, that's really, unless you catch someone in the act, that's the only way. But I guarantee you, if we had video footage or anything like that, from a home, even if a lot of ring doorbells, we'll investigate it, the chief will investigate it, because everyone should just leave everyone's property alone.
Is it a specific spot that you're referring to?
Yeah,
If you like to keep it confidential and talk to the chief, that's fine. If there's an issue, then maybe you can work something out. Okay? Just 1 second, young lady historian in the back.
I just listened about here because I want to do something. I'm here to offer a report. As the village public historian, once a year, there is a conference of the Association of Public Historians of New York State. They call themselves APNES. And it's held every year in September, go around different cities in the state. This year, we were out on Long Island in Port Jefferson. 2 years ago, every year they ask for ideas of topics you want to hear about. 2 years ago, I put in the idea of that we should do a talk on the changing nature of resort communities. And of course, they turned around and said, "It's so fantastic, you're it." So I I was envisioning a panel, but I ended up being the sole session person, and I took the changing nature of Greenwood Lake as a resort. So all these wonderful historians now know very clearly about Greenwood Lake. But I'm actually here to talk, the big issue that they want to do has to do with the 250th anniversary of the country. And this is the
Hey, Marilyn, could you come up and speak at the mic? Yeah, because
Just so that
we
we-
streamline it.
Okay, because this is,
Yeah.
if you just pass them down, this is the field guide. And so they spent a lot of time at this particular conference talking about what we're going to be doing throughout the state. One of the sessions had to deal with augmented reality. And the company, which was based in Seattle, showed us many different versions of what you could do for whatever. But I interpreted one of them as perfect for the 250th, and what they used as an example was George Washington. They took a photo, not a photo, but one of the pictures of George Washington, and, you know, had his mouth move, and he gave a little talk. But the intriguing thing is you could ask any question you wanted, and George would answer. So I went to the president of the association and said, I thought this would be perfect for most of us throughout the state. It could be used in the schools, in the libraries, even in the city hall, because you would just have a screen and George would greet you and however you wanted it to play out. But the question, of course, is always money. So I asked her, did she think that somehow the group could get together and somehow come up with a generic George, and if your particular community had something different, you could pay to have an extension of it. And she not only was excited about it, she said she actually knew the two perfect funding organizations that might support it. And then she was, so she's having a meeting with the state historian to discuss that. It may not be George Washington in the end, but that's what I'm using as the sample because everybody would know. So a question you could ask George is, what do you think of Benedict Arnold? You know, and then he would come back with an answer. And all this, of course, has to be AI programmed. We are going to have to form a committee to figure out what we're going to do, and maybe even have a budget. But I just wanted to get everybody thinking about it.
I will get a hold of you. I know where you live, and maybe we can set up something. We can start from there.
Okay.
Okay.
Good. Yes.
Thank you, Marilyn.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. Ed, you had a hand up?
Yeah, you talked earlier, Ed Kroll, 659 Jersey Ave. You talked earlier about the lake treatment for next year. Are you gonna use the same outfit again that you used this year?
Not determined yet.
These guys did an excellent job this year.
Oh, no, they did.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead, I'm sorry.
It was
You have
very
the
effective,
floor.
But I
Yeah.
think it's a great plan to start a little earlier and.
Well, yeah,
and,
there was a little snafus last year. In the perfect world, you want to start it right, like I said before, right around Mother's Day. You have to understand, you have to let the weeds grow a little bit, because when they treat it, you have to have the flowers that the herbicide attaches to that does the damage. That's why when he did it, he said, let it sit for 2.5 weeks. I'll come back out. And he looked at it. He was happy. And then he said, now you can go mow the lawn. And again, next year, on top of having the big weed harvests for the real north, the furthest north arm, we're gonna try to get into both, both arms, the regular arms a little south, and also going up to the legislator again. We're chasing big money. That's why I went up there. I mean, like, $2 million, $3 million, for hydro raking, and extensive stuff. I don't want to constantly put a Band-Aid. We have to try to address it and go long-term. So that's our plan, but we need a little money and we need a little bit of luck.
It's probably a perfect setting for the grant writing team to come in.
There you go. There you go.
Think of the amount of time and effort, everything that goes in, just from your own staff, if you could, you know, move it, it would really, but these guys did a great job this year.
Glad to hear that. Glad to
Yeah.
hear that.
Super effective.
Okay, anything else? Yes,
Lisa Milano, I'm at 14 Murray. I also came to specifically just speak on how excellent the water quality was this year.
Good.
I do a bunch of distance swimming, and it was just a pleasure all summer.
that's great to hear. I appreciate the positive takes, because we certainly get the negative ones. So thank you for that. Yes, sir.
My name is Charles Pekarik. I live at 580 Jersey Avenue, and I bicycle from my house, and I'm taking advantage of the New York State Department of Transportation repaving Lakes Road and giving us a nice shoulder to ride on pretty much all the way up to Monroe. But when I come back, I have to pass by where the New York State Department of Transportation just dug up the ditch along Jersey Avenue, and there is not only that there's no shoulder, but they actually took chunks off the road. So when I'm going on a bicycle, it becomes a really dicey situation. Now, I know money and all that, but whether the New York State Department of Transportation has plans to do the same thing that they did for Lakes Road, to do along Jersey Avenue all the way to the border, because Jersey repaved.
I don't have that answer, but we can find out.
Well, the
Unless
problem
Kathleen
is
does.
Lakes Road is county and Jersey Avenue is state.
Well,
That's where the
that's
difference
true,
was.
too. Lakes Road is County Route 5, so that was done by Orange County DPW.
And state,
The state does,
State DOT.
state DOT is Windermere Avenue, Jersey Avenue.
because that's a pretty dangerous spot, and as the cars meet, and I'm there at the same time, I'm like,
No, it's not good.
No, and we've called them several times too about, all the foliage and stuff that's coming over, by, the roasters and stuff like that everybody's complaining about. They've been called multiple times about that as well.
it's the area like past Breezy, right along on the right-hand
Right, okay.
side. I mean, there's rocks, so they're not gonna put any fancy shoulders there, but they should fix it up somehow so that people are not.
I can get a letter to them and see what their response is. Appreciate it.
The other thing I wanted to say, I didn't know the gentleman that did, from the ambulance corps that passed away. But we as the village should put some kind of plaque somewhere, because that's pretty amazing amount of time.
Yeah, no.
And he needs some recognition.
The village flags, if anyone was curious, that's why the flags have been at half-staff the last couple of days, in honor of Diva.
And I know I will send you an email on that
Please do.
thing. I wanna.
Sure, I'll follow up with it. Anybody else? Hearing nothing? Like to go into resolutions. Just give me a second to regroup here. Yep. Okay, I'd like to hear a motion that the Village Board of Village Greenwood Lake authorize the hiring of Ava Smith as a part-time police officer, rate of $28.99 per hour. Do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion. Second.
Truzino, Cellier, Walash,
Aye.
Aye.
Be it resolved that the Village Greenwood Lake authorizes the hiring of Sean McPhillips as a part-time police officer at the rate of $28.99 per hour. Do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Cellier, Beth, Walash,
Aye.
Aye.
Be it resolved that the Village Board of the Village Greenwood Lake authorizes the hiring of Mitzi Puskis as a part-time typist at a rate of $19 per hour. Do I have a motion?
I make a motion.
Beth, Truzino.
Just one discussion item, this, she's doing more than that, right? She'll cover.
That's it, yeah, we
this
have
is
to
the
have the
title.
titles
That's
are
the
titles, yeah.
Right, she'll be
Yeah.
covering, give us backup, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm good.
Absolutely.
Good. Aye.
I got you. Okay, this is what I was talking about before, the swamp plan. Resolution for the Village Board of the Village Greenwood Lake to adopt a stormwater management plan for the Village of Greenwood Lake pursuant to Chapter 96 of the Village Code. Do I have a motion? Aye. Be it resolved that the Village Board of Village Greenwood Lake authorizes removal of unmetered water to account number 301315. This is a new construction that's going up. It's been flat. We're gonna meter it now.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Sally? Beth? Aye.
Aye. I'd like to have a motion authorizing the mayor to execute an agreement with the Greenwood Lake Food Pantry. We have to have a legal agreement in order to give them donations. It's strictly a formality, but we have to do this. So we want to support the food pantry, so we have to do it the right way.
I'll make the motion.
Beth? Rosino? Aye.
All right.
Aye.
Okay, resolution number 29, resolution to set the public hearing to authorize amendments to chapter 120 of the Village Code concerning site plan approval of altercations to structures and properties in designated protection areas. This is a verbiage thing, that our attorneys and, engineering firm recommend we take. We're not voting on that tonight. All we're doing is voting on having a public hearing where everything will be explained.
I'll make a motion.
Beth?
Second.
Sally, second. Aye.
Okay, resolution number 30, we're going to hold off on. This is regarding to the removal of a property. We're gonna hold off on that. We're gonna go into executive session to discuss that. I'll explain it to you in a second. I need approval to pay all audited bills. Motion?
I'll make the motion.
Sally?
Seconded.
Okay, Beth? Aye.
Aye. Lastly, acceptance. I need a motion to accept the minutes from the August 21st, 2024 Village Board meeting and the September 13th, 2024 special meeting. Do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Rosino?
Second.
Sally? Aye.
Aye. Okay,
Next page.
oh, there you go. I got you. Thank you. We have some budget amendments. Account 83089.345, other general government PD tech grant, from 0 to 200,000. This is a $200,000 grant that we received for technology. We have to get it into our coffers the correct way so we can track spending. A.3120.345, police PD tech grant to 200,000. Do I have a motion to make these budget amendments?
Make that motion.
Rosino?
Second, and just one discussion item. So you have two accounts going from 0 to 200.
No, it's one. It's one.
It's just 200.
Yeah, just saying, if you look, I'm sorry, it's two.
You have two different accounts, they're going from 0 to 200.
Revenue and expense.
one's an expense, I believe.
Yes.
Oh, there you go. Thank you.
How's that, okay?
It's just so you can track the
Yeah.
grant coming in and the money being spent going out.
Okay, at this time,
Got it.
hear a
Wait,
motion?
all aye?
Oh, yeah, aye.
Aye.
Gonna make a motion, to go into executive session to discuss, resolution number 30. The way, executive session is, everybody has to leave, unfortunately. We will discuss the resolution regarding the situation on church. We will not vote on anything. When we come out of executive session, if you choose to stay, we'll make sure that you're invited back in for any kind of vote or closing of the meeting. Do I have a motion for the executive session?
I'll make a motion for the executive session.
I'll second.
Beth? Sally, all aye?
Aye.
Thank you all for coming, and we'll be looking downstairs to see.
Thanks, everybody. Have a good night.
Have a good
Take
night.
care, chief.